Hey, it's Joe Glines from the Automator. Another episode of what we automated with AutoHotkey this week. And I already have the recently modified files running with a bunch of other tools going. And let's look at what we've been doing. I got some good news. We're going to be starting to get back to do some more custom work for ourselves instead of doing client work, which is great. We finished up this one project. So our fans are going to be back doing some stuff, which is awesome. Prospect Finder. Oh, that's more client work. Sorry. Finding people like on LinkedIn and other places and connecting to them. Tom sits all right, Clipster. All right, now this one, I don't think they got to it during the hero call. Clipboard tools, but we're doing some work with Clipster. Clipster right now lets you paste HTML, like you can push HTML into your clipboard, formatted text, and paste it, so you can have like rich text or something, and it allows you to paste pictures. For one of our clients who's having issue with it, we still haven't tracked that down, but what I want to be able to do with Clipster is also be able to push files. Files and rich text would be the other one that we're going to be able to set it up to do. So I'll need to go talk to Zayas. I wasn't on the hero call. My son was getting his license on Friday, so I had to take him up there, and I missed that call. But that was on our list to talk about, and I see they might have done some work, but I don't know what they did and didn't do for a change. So I'll have to either rewatch the videos and see what they did, or just ask them. The M function, this is a Matrix M function, and I had an AI tool, I forget if it was Grok or Claude, convert the M function, not all of it, but it does go over simple arrays, which is awesome. So we'll put that, I don't think I made that a download yet, so I'll have to make sure I make that a download. That'll be another great thing that Irfan can do, is catch up on the downloads. Error capture. Now, Zayas, during the hero call, we were demonstrating this, and then we identified a bug. We actually recorded a couple of videos on it, but it's a really, really cool script. I'm going to go ahead. It's actually running right now. Yeah, I relaunched it. I'll go back to... all right, so I just have, this is my little template where I have just some standard stuff. All of this stuff, it gives me the trash icon, so I know it's a different icon. Gives me the open folder and changes my icon in the system tray, and allows me to easily access it. But I'm going to demo message box, and I have a typo here. So if I try to run this, save it and run it, I get this error. Now see that error assist? And if I had, let's say I was working in if I'm in a browser, and I'm going to go to, let's say, Claude, and I was working in a script here, and now when I here is that tool. I'm going to go to preferences, and in our preferences now, so we have a 80 millisecond delay. That's not seconds. Isaiah's changed this to this is milliseconds, but this should yeah, that's misleading. It's 80 milliseconds and 1 second for the yellow thing to stay up. We'll make that 2 for now, and we're going to reactivate Chrome. I'm going to keep the logging, and it's going to exit the app. So I'm going to save that. And now if I try to run this, okay, now it clicked it and brought me back to this, which would allow me to paste, and there you go. So I'll have to let Isaiah know there's something weird on the my get active path. It's one to reload. Something weird that's really funny, because he just finished working on it and I thought it was solid. But yeah, so when you're in here, you go to run something, and it's only for runtime error. So I'm going to run it. I get the error. It's going to close this automatically for me, and then go. Now, in here, I'll have to ask him which way it's supposed to be, because I can't put a decimal. I don't really want this for 1 second. It should be like 0.8, but I can't do in the script, he's disabled having periods, you know, non-numeric character, so it probably just says digits. So we need to also allow for a decimal. And this, I would say 1, or I'll say even 0. I don't even want to see that notification. Hit save and punch it. So I didn't even see the notification, but again, it didn't close this, which is interesting. So that's ironic. The error tool itself has an error in it. So I'm going to have to manually copy this. And what I would do is give Claude the code and ask it to fix it. I'll just go delete this entire conversation. All right. getting clicks. Now, they did demo this during the hero call. This script, let me open the folder, and I'll go ahead and run it. And there's a hotkey. Let's see here. What is this one? Getting clicks. Yeah. So it's Control-Shift-S to toggle tracking. So I'm going to hit Control-Shift-S, and it's going to start. All right, now we're tracking. Now when I go and I'm going to left click and left click and left click, and then let's say I right click. Now if I hit Control-Shift-S again, it recorded all that, and I'm going to, let's just open Notepad so you can see it. I can paste this. Now this is the script that we just wrote. It gives me a default hotkey, which is Control-T. I use that as kind of my go-to because I know I have nothing tied to it. And it's going to do those clicks, adding here also a place where you can change this sleep. The default is 100, but it allows you to easily change that. And I have my default X, so escape would exit this script. It requires V2. There's a single instance force, and this is my icon, so I can pull it out. Again, I use that trash icon for when I'm testing stuff, so I can pull it out of the system tray easily. And yeah, it's a quick little kind of macro recorder for throwaway things. So that should be, again, Irfan will have to put that online, but that should be available soon. This control helper, it's a class I'm working on to help add availability of checking to see if the control is even available before you try to click it, and just to streamline that process to see if it's visible, to see if it's available. Lots of stuff that we don't usually program ourselves because it just takes time to program. So that's what we're working on with that. The notify class, I didn't know they made some changes to it, so I don't know what that was. The open router, we're almost ready, I think, to release this class, and this allows us to have one endpoint, and you can use over 300 different models. So you can use ChatGPT or Claude or, well, you name it. I mean, there were so many of the top models, and not even top. I mean, like I said, over 300 different models. Granted, there's, 5 or so from ChatGPT and another 5 or so from Anthropic, but it's still, there's a lot of providers. I think there was over 60 providers and over 300 models. So Isaias was finishing to where we could push images to it, we can push text to it, and the audio, for whatever reason, they only have it working with Gemini right now, if I remember correctly. It's one of the Google models. So that was a bummer because we like to use a couple other tools. OpenAI's Whisper is good, but we use another tool, a whole different vendor. But it'd be nice if they had more than one provider for doing the audio files. And see, JSON looks like Isaias or someone was doing some testing with that. WinRT, I can't wait for us to make another video on this. We're doing some stuff with it to allow for recording of things and doing things, so it's very cool. But it's so many more things you can do with that. It's really kind of crazy. Message master. So I was trying to add a script, and that was this killer here. Remote killer. Actually, let me keep going in order. So Message Master is what we use to send our emails, the newsletter, the AutoHotkey newsletter. And when I'm getting ready to publish the newsletter, I use about 3 or 4 different AutoHotkey scripts. So I use all those before it. I create the newsletter, I send it out, and then I realize I have 3 or 4 scripts. After I close the Message Master, I have 3 or 4 scripts that I need to go close. And I thought, hey, why don't I have inside Message Master a kill signal to those other scripts? Because when I'm done with Message Master, I'm done with the newsletter for that week. And why am I manually going and close those? Well, turns out that was much harder than I had anticipated because they don't have GUIs and it wasn't easy to do. So I created this killer. So if we go to this folder, it has 2 examples. So there's the killer and the running example. So this running example, I'm going to launch it, and I think it does a tooltip. Yeah. So, I changed the notify class. So this is just showing this thing is running, right? When I run killer, a separate script, it goes and kills. Is there a hotkey? Let me see. It's been a while since I worked on it. Oh, F2. Okay. So F2 killed that script, and now that other script is gone. So I was just testing that, and it sends a message to the name of the script, right? So you're targeting a script name, you put that in the title, and it sends that my understanding is it sends the send message, and then in the killer script, or sorry, the other script, we have this on message thing watching for a certain message, and right now we're just sending it a certain word, and then we do a case statement, I think, to see that it was found, and when it's found, we terminate the script. So, they moved it. That's right. They moved the message to a separate area. But yeah, it was watching for a message to be sent to it, and just trying to streamline that process. So I'll add the this part of it to Message Master, and then I'll add the other part to the other scripts, and that'll make it easy for me to remotely kill those scripts. If you have any ideas of other ways to kill them, I was surprised it wasn't nearly as easy. I could go get a list of all the names of the scripts and get their PID maybe, and then use the PID to kill it. Is another way I think I could do that, but I was just playing around to see the best way to do it. An example message. So they moved that, which is see, they moved that to its own thing, but I think Isaias did that. This is all that's in the script. I think they did that just so they can have a lot of different messages, but that's just weird to me. Anyway, I'll talk to Isaias about it, but yeah, they moved that. Simple Spy, syntax writer. So I was working on this. I was trying to connect that control tool with Simple Spy to make it easy to drag your Simple Spy. Let me see if this will actually run. Simple Spy, which, let me load Simple Spy, is a very, very simple tool where you drag this to something, and if it can see it, like here, it will tell you the name, the class NN. It can allow you sometimes to set the text, but it's a little interface. And I thought, hey, let's see here if we had... So I opened up Site with some Win32 controls, and you can see these things, right? So I can easily find, let's see if this still works. So find next, find a lot more. Let's see if that'll work. Yeah, so see how I even changed that control? But the fact is, this is a Win32 control. I can make it change the label. I'm not changing functionality, but I changed the label and how it looks. And when I reload this script, when I hit here and bring it up, it's of course changed back, right? But with Win32 controls, you can move them, you can disable them, whatever. But this makes it easy. So what I'd like to be able to do is to drag this to here and then have an option to say, I want to click it, I want to set text, I want to change the text. So that's what I was trying to do with that other script, and make it very reliable and make it export the syntax on how to do that, right? So we don't have to learn, because there's like 30 different Win32 control codes in AutoHotkey, and I would love to have a syntax writer that would just say, well, are you trying to click it? Are you trying to edit it, to set the text, to move it, to disable it? So there'd be a lot. We'd start off with just the default of like clicking, setting the text. Those are by far the two things we do the most, right? Is so that we would just have those available. Later, maybe we would add some other options, but we'd have to work on, so each of these things, these checkboxes, right? We'd have to have the code for that of check and uncheck, or just check, toggle, I guess is what we would do with that, or the drop down. So these are all things that you can work with AutoHotkey very easily. And yeah, that was what I was trying to do with that script, but it was just a little too advanced for AI at the time. So I just stopped on it. It was just a thing I was trying to see if I could do, but maybe I'll get Irfan to work on that. Webcam reminder, I think I was just adjusting the height and width and stuff of where it was. Admit participants. So this was this is another one of those. I decided when this gets kicked off, this lets me, when I run it, it starts off in suspend mode, and then because I start it before the hero call start, and then I wait. Actually, let me just run it. It shouldn't hurt to run it. So it starts off and reminds me, this stays up on the screen until I unpause it. So over here, you'll see this starts off in the paused script. Now, when I turn this off, it will turn that on, and it started this script, the time track for extraction. And my son actually brought this up when I was working with him. So I think it said F9. So if we're talking the hero call, it recorded the timestamp of when we started doing this. And I can hit F9, make a note, and hit OK. And now it's telling me, okay, this is cool. That was is being tracked, and we would be recording. And when we're done, I'd be like, okay, now F9 again. Okay, now it stopped, right? So now, after the call, I can go back and say, here's where I need it. And actually, I could even go, if I open this folder, so I'm going to open the script, open the folder. In the folder is this log file. Just open it. And we have the start time and the end times of this is cool. Now, with a little bit of work, I can actually read this file and read, I have to, of course, know the MP4 file or the video file that's tied to it, but I can feed this info to FFmpeg. It will go and edit it. I'd probably subtract a couple seconds from the start and add a couple seconds from the end, so I make sure I get exactly what I want, but then I go and edit that, and it'll really streamline, because it's just a manual process to go find the times, and so this is really going to help us speed up our editing. And I'm giving my son a lot of that work to do. He's starting college, but he needs to work also to do some work, and so I told him, you can work for me, or you can go get a job, but someone with just out of high school doesn't have amazing skills, and he's learning. Like, he didn't know what Excel even was, right? So it's kind of fun and kind of scary to be starting with him, but he's learning lots of little stuff, and he's learning how to edit videos, which are good. And we'll be teaching him, he's using the hotkeys. He hasn't written one yet. Actually, no, he did tweak one of mine, but he's learning about how to use hot strings and hotkeys, and then of course we'll keep leveling him up a little more, and I'll start showing, since he's in college and he's going to be writing, I'll show him some Word styles in Microsoft Word. If you're writing papers and stuff, styles are just insanely helpful. So anyway, let me go back to my list, but I think that was all for this week. Yeah, but we do, like I said, now that Irfan's back to work and doing work for me instead of client work, or if you guys have a project, let me know, and he can do some work for you. He bills out at a lower rate than Isaiah does. So our base rate, I forget what it is. If we go to the consult page, so our base rate's $74.99, and his is, I forget exactly what it is, but it's a third less. And if you're a hero member, I think it's around a third less. And if you're a hero member, you get 25% off. This drops it down to, I forget exactly what, like 55. And again, if you're a hero member, if you're a hero member, no, that the hero member brings it down to 70, down to around, let's say $56.90. Oh, I have the price right in front of me. I'm an idiot. So these are the two prices. This is Isaiah's price and my price, and then Irfan's price. Now, when we have calls, and like when we have development calls and stuff, is usually Isaiah and I are there. I don't bill, by the way, for me. It's just a bill for one of us. And then when Irfan is working, this is the bill rate. So hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed everything. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day. We'll see you next week. Cheers.